It's the NRT Insider on NRTV, where we talk directly to the artists about their latest projects, passions, and what's currently driving them in their ministry. Let's go inside on the NRT Insider, exclusively from NewReleaseTuesday.com.
I grew up in a Christian home. I became a Christian, more or less officially, for those that, consider it more about that moment that you asked Jesus into your heart. I think salvation's a process, for sure. But when I was 8, I was scared out of my whatevers about hell. I was at Vacation Bible School. I was 8, and I rushed down to the altar and was like, "Oh, I don't want to not know Jesus and not have Him in my heart." And I know for some that's a pretty common story. Unfortunately, I was sort of scared into that, but it was in my teens that I was at youth camp, that I understood more
just about a week later,
understood more the element of relationship.
Yes.
And I do think that our understanding of who God is says a lot about who we are, and our understanding of God tends to sort of stem from our relationship with the Father that we were raised by, if at all, if we had one at all. And so for me, I have a father that I love very much. We have a complicated relationship though, because I was motivated by fear, not because he would have ever harmed me, but it was sort of what he knew. His father was an alcoholic and got saved when he was 40, and he went from one completely type of life to a completely 180, and so he became extremely legalistic and very overly fundamental, and so my father was raised by these really strict hellfire and brimstone rules. And so my dad's generation kind of, as he was the offspring and a younger version of that, was a little more watered down. But when my dad, I was 4 years old when he says he got really serious about his faith, and so I don't remember him before that really, but it was a lot of rules, and he talked about relationship and conversation, but it was, I guess actions do speak louder than words. And I think if my dad was sitting here, he would say that he doesn't necessarily believe this, but his actions sort of told me rules and not so much relationship. So I feel like I've never not known Jesus, but at the same time I feel like I've known him in the last couple of years for the first time, really.
Yeah.
Isaiah 41:10 is, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you and uphold you with my righteous right hand." And I pulled that from when I was probably at the height of my panic and anxiety attacks in high school. That verse, I had to memorize it for a youth conference that we had to go to. And I remember memorizing it and connecting with "fear not, for I," and the I in that verse is saying, the I in that verse is the creator of everything, saying, "I'm with you. Be not dismayed, I am your God. I will strengthen, I will help." And so a lot of that fear that has motivated me in an unhealthy way, little by little, God's used that verse to kind of chip away and say, "Just trust me," because the opposite of fear is obviously faith. And so having more and more and more faith in Him makes me a little less fearful, a little less anxious. And so I do admit that my motivation by fear is definitely connected to my anxiety. And so that's something I'm still working on, but I do think God uses it to keep me close to Him.
Yes.
Think about just magically, everything was just all gone, and I'm just perfectly, never fearful, never anxious, never anything. I might get a little too headstrong and think I can do it by myself.